The Mechanical Oracle. The year is 1902. Dust motes danced in the sparse sunlight, filtering through the grimy windows of Sam's workshop. It was a symphony of organized chaos. Gears, wires, vacuum tubes, and bubbling beakers littered every surface. Sam, a man whose hands were perpetually stained with grease, and whose eyes held a perpetual glint of innovation, tinkered with a contraption that looked like a mad scientist's fever dream. Beside him, Jason, younger, sharper, and with a knack for presentation, polished a brass plate with more fervor than necessary. "Anything, Sam?" Jason asked, his voice tinged with both hope and a familiar weariness. Sam grunted, adjusting a delicate wire. "Almost. This last bit of refinement, it's proving stubborn. The phonograph mechanism is sound. The amplification is there. But the voice, it's still a whisper. A metallic ghost." They had been at it for months, fueled by an audacious dream. A machine that could speak, not just replay sounds, but articulate. They had scavenged parts from defunct telegraph machines, repurposed the innards of early gramophones, and experimented with a dizzying array of chemicals to find a conductive paste that wouldn't corrode. Electricity, harnessed from a sputtering generator in the corner, was their lifeblood, their fickle muse. "Remember those acidic compounds you were mixing last week?" Jason mused, wiping his brow. "The ones that made your eyebrows singe?" Sam chuckled, a dry, rasping sound. "Ah, yes, the citric surge. Nearly lost my sense of smell permanently, but it did seem to energize the vocal modulator. Just a bit too much, perhaps." They had tried everything. Copper coils, silver filaments, even mercury in sealed glass tubes. Each attempt was a gamble, a step into the unknown. One afternoon, a particularly potent mixture of sulfuric acid and a rare earth mineral had caused a small explosion, showering the workshop with glittering fragments and leaving a faint, ozone-like smell. "This time," Sam declared, his voice resonating with newfound certainty, "I've recalibrated the harmonic resonator, and I've used a less volatile electrolyte, a concoction of distilled water and, well, a secret ingredient." He winked. Jason raised an eyebrow. "Your secret ingredient usually involves something that makes the air taste like burnt toast for a week." "This is different," Sam insisted, his fingers flying across a complex array of dials. "This is the culmination, the final piece of the puzzle. If this works, Jason, we'll have something the world has never seen." With a deep breath, Sam flipped a large ceramic-handled switch. The generator coughed to life, its rhythmic chugging filling the workshop. Lights flickered on the machine's console. A low hum, deeper and more resonant than before, emanated from his polished wooden casing. "Speak, my friend," Sam whispered, his voice filled with anticipation. Jason leaned closer, his eyes wide. Then a voice, clear and surprisingly resonant, filled the room. It wasn't human, not entirely. There was a subtle, mechanical undertone, a slight metallic echo, but the words were distinct, intelligible. "Hello," the machine said. Sam and Jason stared at each other, dumbfounded. Sam's jaw hung open. Jason let out a breathless laugh. "It works," Jason breathed. "It actually works." The machine continued, its synthesized voice gaining a touch of inflection. "Greetings. I am the Mechanical Oracle. How may I assist you?" Their first public demonstration was a sensation. They set up in a bustling city square, the machine, now christened the Oracle, displayed on a velvet-draped pedestal. A crowd gathered, a mixture of awe and skepticism on their faces. Sam, dressed in his finest suit, acted as the interpreter, posing questions to the Oracle and relaying its answers. "What is the weather tomorrow?" a stout gentleman inquired. The oracle responded, its voice amplified by a brass horn. Tomorrow the skies shall be clear, with a gentle breeze from the west. Temperatures will reach 72 degrees Fahrenheit. The crowd gasped. The next day, the weather was exactly as predicted. Word spread like wildfire. The mechanical oracle was a marvel, a testament to human ingenuity. But Sam and Jason, while proud, were also pragmatic. The cost of materials, the constant upkeep of the generator, the sheer electricity they consumed, it was all adding up. They needed a way to monetize their invention. Jason, ever the shrewd businessman, saw the opportunity. People are fascinated by the future, Sam. They crave certainty. What if the oracle could offer more than just weather reports? Sam looked at him, a flicker of unease in his eyes. You mean predictions? Not just predictions, Jason corrected, his eyes gleaming. Personalized prophecies. For a small fee, of course. And so, the oracle's function shifted. No longer just a weather predictor, it became a purveyor of destiny. For a few coins, individuals could approach the oracle and ask about their fortunes, their love lives, their business prospects. Will I find true love? A young woman, clutching a worn locket, asked. The oracle responded, its voice a measured rumble. Your heart's desire is near. Look for a sign in the crimson bloom. The woman, thrilled, scurried away, clutching the oracle's cryptic advice. Will my business prosper? A portly merchant inquired. The seeds of success are sown in fertile ground. Be wary of the encroaching frost. The oracle's pronouncements were vague, open to interpretation, yet delivered with an air of undeniable authority. Sam, though he lent his technical expertise, felt a growing disquiet. He knew the machine was just a complex arrangement of wires and circuits, a sophisticated echo chamber. It didn't know anything. Are we not deceiving them, Jason? Sam asked one evening, after a particularly busy day of fortune-telling. Jason shrugged, counting a wad of bills. We're providing a service, Sam. People want to believe. They want hope. We're just giving it to them in a unique package. But it's not real, Sam insisted. These prophecies are just educated guesses, cleverly worded platitudes. And what is faith, Sam, if not the belief in the unseen? Jason countered, his smile unwavering. The oracle is a catalyst for that belief. It makes people look for the signs, for the opportunities. It empowers them to make their future, even if they think it's the oracle doing the work. Sam remained unconvinced. He saw the desperation in the eyes of those who sought the oracle, the way they clung to its every word, the way their lives seemed to revolve around its pronouncements. He witnessed a young couple, told by the oracle to seek solace under the ancient oak, end their courtship after a misunderstanding when they couldn't find such a tree. He saw a businessman invest his entire fortune based on a prediction of a golden harvest, only to face ruin when the market crashed. The machine, once a symbol of their triumph, began to feel like a burden, a gilded cage of their own making. The hum of the generator, once a sound of progress, now seemed to echo with the weight of their deception. One stormy night, a desperate man, his face etched with despair, approached the oracle. "Tell me," he pleaded, his voice hoarse, "will my son recover?" The oracle, after a moment of whirring and clicking, responded, "The thread of life is thin. The choice lies with the weaver." The man collapsed onto the ground, weeping. Sam, watching from the shadows of his workshop, felt a cold dread creep into his heart. He had built a marvel, but he had also built a monster. He found Jason in their usual corner, meticulously cleaning the oracle's brass horn. "Jason," Sam said, his voice low and firm. "We have to stop." Jason looked up, a hint of annoyance in his eyes. "Stop? Sam, we're making a fortune. People are flocking to us. This is everything we dreamed of." "No, Jason," Sam corrected. "This is not what we dreamed of. We dreamed of creating something new, something that pushed the boundaries of what was possible. We didn't dream of preying on people's hopes and fears." "We're not preying," Jason insisted. "We're providing a service, a very profitable one. But it's built on a lie," Sam said, his voice rising. "This machine, it doesn't see the future. It just talks, and we're letting people believe it holds the keys to their destiny. It's dangerous, Jason. It's wrong." Jason sighed, setting down the polishing cloth. "Sam, you're being sentimental. This is the way the world works. People want to believe in magic, in destiny. We're just giving them a taste of it. Besides, the Oracle is a marvel of engineering. It's a testament to our genius." "Our genius is being wasted on deceit," Sam retorted. "I can't do this anymore, Jason. I can't stand by and watch people be misled by a machine that only speaks because we tell it to." He walked over to the Oracle, his hand hovering over the main power switch. "What are you doing, Sam?" Jason asked, his voice laced with alarm. "I'm turning off the Oracle," Sam said, his gaze steady. "For good." "You can't!" Jason exclaimed, stepping forward. "We'll lose everything." "We've already lost something," Sam replied, his voice filled with a quiet resolve. "Our integrity." He flipped the switch. The generator sputtered, its rhythmic chugging faltering. The lights on the Oracle's console flickered and died. The room fell into a heavy silence, broken only by the distant rumble of thunder. Jason stared at the now inert machine, his face a mask of disbelief and anger. "You fool, Sam. You absolute fool." Sam watched the Oracle, its polished surface now reflecting only the dim light of the workshop. He felt a strange mixture of relief and sadness. They had created something extraordinary, a machine that had briefly touched the edges of wonder. But in the end, the true marvel wasn't the talking box, but the choice they had made, to silence the lie, and perhaps to find a more honest way to use their ingenuity. The world would never know the mechanical Oracle, but Sam knew, with a heavy heart, that they had done the right thing.